As you can tell from the title of the video, this is going to be kind of a review slash video diary of my Invisalign journey. This is going to be the first stage of the journey rather than kind of a final review. It's just to show you how I'm getting on so far. Right now is as good a time as any really to start the journey because I got my first aligner fixed about an hour ago. So I'm going to be able to give you kind of an initial background on the first part of getting your braces, so that if you've been thinking about getting them yourself or if you've just started your journey as well, we can kind of enjoy going through it together. So first of all, there's just a kind of brief background on why I decided to get aligners. So I've always had quite crooked teeth, as you may have been able to see in my previous videos, but I didn't decide to get anything done about it until I was about 21. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I've had a couple of nose jobs now. When I went for my first nose surgery, one of the staff at the clinic decided to point out, kind of randomly, without me bringing up the topic, decided to point out that I have quite crooked teeth and asked if I'd ever considered cosmetic dentistry. At the time, I hadn't. However, her pointing that out to me kind of made me super aware of how crooked my teeth were, and they have actually gotten more crooked since then. The second thing that made me super aware of how crooked my teeth were was I went to a supernatural convention and had professional photos taken with Misha Collins, who plays Castiel, and I don't normally kind of tooth smile in photos. I kind of tend to smile with my mouth closed. However, I was so excited that I'd done a big smile with my mouth open, and my teeth to me just looked absolutely horrendous, especially side by side with Misha, who had perfectly straight white teeth, and that kind of made it come to the forefront of my mind how bad my teeth were. Thankfully, I was able to get a reshoot done where you couldn't see my teeth, so I was happy with the final result. So the first step in actually getting the aligners was to book in for a consultation. I spent quite a few weeks kind of looking at reviews for different clinics in the area until I decided to go with my orthodontist, Sunderland. And the first stage in the process was to book in for a consultation with the orthodontist. This lasted not very long, I would say maybe about 20 minutes, and it was just him. I had to fill out a form about why I wanted the braces. He had a look and decided whether obviously they would be able to do the Invisalign, and talked through the treatment options, whether I would like fixed braces or whether I would like the Invisalign. And I decided at the end of that consultation, although you get a little while to decide what you want to go ahead, by the end of that consultation I'd pretty much decided that Invisalign was the way I wanted to go, because I wanted to have a treatment process that people wouldn't be able to see as much. With me being an adult, obviously kind of fixed braces, visible braces are more common with younger children and teenagers. With me being an adult, I felt a bit uncomfortable with having braces that people could see all the time, because I thought it would make me look a lot younger than I am. So I didn't want to go down that route. Second stage in the process was, once I decided I definitely wanted the Invisalign, was I went to get some x-rays and scans, and I went home and was booked in for my next appointment, which was a kind of visual representation or a visual talk through of how the treatment would go. So the doctor sat me down and showed me on a computer screen kind of how my teeth look now based off the scans that I'd had, and step by step how my teeth would change with the aligners, and then the final result of how my teeth will look. Obviously it was just done through kind of x-rays and scans, so I couldn't see them inside my face, inside my head. I could just see the teeth on their own, but to me it wound up in really good results, so that was kind of finalised the decision. At any point throughout this process you can back out and decide not to have the aligners. You're provided with a lot of information on what having the aligners will involve, what they'll feel like, how you have to take care of them, and you're allowed at any point obviously to decide not to have them. However, my doctor, my orthodontist, was really reassuring, and I was like, yeah, I still want to go ahead. This is gonna, any kind of discomfort or any financial whatever is going to be worth it because of the confidence that I'm going to get at the end. Which led me obviously to my appointment today, which was the installation of the first braces. This was the longest appointment, lasting about 40 minutes. The process was pretty straightforward, pretty simple, and it just involved lying on the orthodontist chair while a member of the doctor's team fixed bonds, kind of used a stick. I was put cotton wool buds in the side of my mouth and then they use kind of like a stick or some kind of device to prod glue bonds onto my teeth, kind of rubbery glue bonds onto my teeth, which involved a little bit of pressure, but it certainly didn't hurt. And then they tried kind of the different parts of the aligner on each part of my mouth to make sure they were going to fit and that they were going to stick to the bonds. So it was done in kind of 3 parts, and then eventually they gave me my finished aligners, which the dental assistant put in, so I could see what they felt like. When they first put them in, it did feel very tight, and I started to get a little bit panicky that I wasn't going to be able to cope with the discomfort, because initially putting the aligners in, it just felt like it was pressing against my teeth, and I started to get a little bit scared, and I started to think through in my head, oh my god, what if I'm not going to be able to cope with the discomfort and I'm going to end up taking them out and wasting all this money. But I think that was just kind of me being a bit too anxious, a bit too panicky. So she took them out, and then I had to have a go at putting them in and taking them out myself, just to show that I could do it myself at home without assistance, and because obviously you have to take them out to eat and drink. So I had a go at that, and after putting them back in myself, I realised that it wasn't actually as tight as I thought it was, and the more I'm wearing them, obviously I've had them in for about an hour now, and the more that I'm wearing them, the more they just you kind of forget that you've got them in. Apparently the first 2 to 3 days of having a new tray or having a new aligner in is kind of the most where you can feel it. It feels like a bit uncomfortable, a bit pressury. You get a little bit of a lisp, which you may have been able to notice in the audio of this video, is that I do have a slight lisp, but it's not. When I first had the aligners put in, it was very noticeable. I had a very strong lisp, but now that I've had them on for a little while, it's starting to calm down a bit. I was kind of worried at how I would go and work, because I use the telephone at work, so I was worried if I'd be able to speak on the telephone, but I think I'm doing okay now, and I think I'll be able to. So now that I've got my first aligner in, the process is going to be to leave this first one in for 2 weeks as my teeth adjust, and then I'll be changing the aligners once a week after that, which I'll do myself. I don't need the orthodontist to help with that, so I don't need to go to appointments. I can just do it myself at home. And as I said before, I can only take these, it have to be worn 24/7 pretty much. They can only be taken off to eat and drink, and then you have to clean your teeth, clean the aligner, and pop them straight back in. You do get a booklet with care instructions and how to manage them, so that's good. The doctor has assured me that after the 18 months treatment process, if I'm not happy with how my teeth look for whatever reason, they'll keep going until I am. He says you're set for 32 aligners, but if you're not happy after those 32 aligners, we can do 40, 42, 45, whatever it takes to get you happy with your teeth. Now I'm going to give you a quick look at the pack that I've been sent home with. As you can see, I've got this very snazzy looking Invisalign bag, which has all the equipment that I need to take care of my aligners and whatnot. So this is a little baggie with a little box inside. Again, a very, very posh little thing. Looks very swanky. And within the box, if I can open it, there you go. Is some little cleaning crystals, a box of cleaning crystals, which you use to clean your aligners. And you get this little aligner box, which kind of looks like a makeup compact. It looks like that, and that's where you place your aligners when you're not using them, when you're eating and drinking, so that you don't lose them, because they are very small, they are very light, and of course they are invisible, see-through, so you need to put them in there when you're not using them to prevent you from losing them. And that rhymed. And I'm very prone to losing things, so I'm definitely going to need that. And then also in the pack is, of course, my other aligners. So when I'm done, after the 2 weeks of using this first set of aligners, I'm going to see if I can bring this a little bit closer so you can see. So that's what the aligners look like, just kind of little just little tooth covers, I guess, and they get changed once a week. So I've got 6 weeks worth there before I have to go back to the doctor and he gives me my next set. And here is the aligners on my teeth. Now they're going to look a little bit gross because they've got little bonds, obviously, to stick the aligner to my teeth, which kind of look like little lumps. So it may look a little bit like I've got bits of food or bits of something on my teeth. And also, because this is the start of the journey, my teeth are still really crooked. Well, that's attractive. So from a slight distance, that's how they look, and from a comfortable distance, that's how the braces look. So unless you're really up close to somebody's mouth, unless you're really up close to somebody's mouth, you shouldn't really see them, hence why they're called Invisalign, and you shouldn't notice them causing a difference in speech except for the first day or so of wearing a new aligner. But obviously, as you can tell from this video, it doesn't make a massive difference. I still am able to talk, so that's fine. And if you've watched my previous videos, you'll notice the slight lisp, but again, that's absolutely fine. And that's how I got on for now. So the next stage, to be honest, I don't know when the next stage is that I'm going to film. Probably when I get, after the 6 weeks, when I go back to see the doctor and I get my next set of aligners, I might film a quick update then. Or if I start to notice a difference in my teeth, or if I start noticing kind of any pain or discomfort or anything that changes how I feel about the braces. But from now on, for now, I'm really, really happy with them. They're not overly uncomfortable. My jaw hurts a little bit, but I think that's from all the prodding and poking at the surgery. But otherwise, that's it. So I'll see you next time for my next update.